You're watching The Last Stand with Brian Custer.
That's right. It is The Last Stand. I'm Brian Custer. We bring you the biggest names in the sport. Hey, make sure if you love this content, you're watching on YouTube, you subscribe, you hit that like button, and you can also find The Last Stand on all of your audio platforms as well. I'm talking Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, all of them. Make sure you download those as well. Joining us today, one of the top fighters now at 140 pounds. You know him as the Ghost. We know him as Frank Martin. Back with us on The Last Stand. Frank, it's been a while. Welcome back to the show.
What up, B? How you doing?
It's good to see you. Good to have you back. And good to have you back in the ring. I understand December 6th, PBC on Prime. You're taking on Rances Barthélemy, former two-time world champion, two-weight division champion. Man, I think it's been over a year and a half since we've seen Frank Martin back in the ring. Tell us why. Why has it been so long?
Man, it's been a minute. If it was up to me, I would have been back in the ring, but you know how the business end of it is, but I'm back now, so that's the main thing. I'm ready to get after this one. After this one, I'm trying to get right back active right after this one.
Oh, I like it. And so you're saying what, a couple months, 3 months right after this fight, you're right back in?
3-4 months, like if I can get something 3-4 months, I'm happy with it.
I like it. So you're back in the ring. Last time we saw you obviously was Tank Davis, the Tank Davis fight. And it was a fight that, if you look at it, you were doing really well. I mean, especially in these early rounds. In your opinion, what happened in that fight?
Man, it's a lot of different things that went into that fight. From my weight to just the game plan, a lot of different things, even with me not fighting my fight, you know what I'm saying? Like going in there and then the magnitude of the fight kind of like not being comfortable. I wasn't fully comfortable when I was in the ring. I was like trying to do everything perfect instead of, like having fun while I was in there. So moving forward, it's all about me, like it don't matter who I'm in there with. I gotta be me, have fun and make them, fight to my beat.
You obviously you saw what Lamont Roach did with Gervonta, and they end up in a draw. If you could do everything over again, what would you have done differently against Gervonta Davis?
I would have stayed off the ropes, and then I would have been a little more. I would have fought more close range instead of just straight up boxing. I would have boxed, a couple rounds, and then kind of fought inside. I would have gave some inside work and kind of stayed there instead of trying to keep it mid range and box. I would have fought close, like a closer range, and not been on them ropes so much, But in all honesty, you know what I'm saying, in the 5th round of that fight, I kind of lost my legs. Like I felt my legs leave me with like the 5th round, but I'm thinking like second half of the fight, I'm gonna catch my second win, but I didn't, That was a lot of the reasons why I was trying to use the ropes to get back, shoot certain shots. I was seeing certain shots off the ropes, but I was kind of trying to use the ropes a little bit to get my legs back from not moving so much. But that wasn't part of the plans. Even me being on the ropes was never part of the plan. But when I was in there in that 5th round, my legs got to giving on me. It was the first time that something like that happened, And I learned from it. It was more of a learning experience than anything.
Was that the weight drain that you think the weight clause that came with the fight?
Yeah. I feel like the weight for sure. I lost quite a bit of weight leading up to the fight. And I feel like you don't really know how you gonna feel when you losing a certain amount of weight. You don't know until it's time for you to perform. Like when you in that situation, that's when you find out. And that's one of the things I feel like I found out, then. But there's so many different variables that went into that fight right there, outside of just the weight.
Well, let's talk about one of the things that happened outside of the fight, because, after the fight, obviously your trainer, Derek James, you guys split. And now you have Buddy McGirt as your new trainer. Tell me why. What led to the split with Derek James?
Oh no, it was all love, you know. With D, it's still all love. It ain't no like bad blood or nothing. It was just after the fight, man. I had started kind of trying to explore different things. You know, I was going to Miami and stuff, trying to train to, you know, add back into my head movements, you know, just bringing more of my athleticism back out, you know. We know Derek real fundamental. He good at what he teach. He's super fundamentalist. You know, I just feel like I was trying to search for a little more, add more to my arsenal, you know, than just the fundamentals. You know, I feel like I'm an athlete. You know, I got a lot of tricks in my bag that, you know, the fundamental style, I can't really bring it out or show really what I got with that type of style. But, you know, it was just, he wasn't trying to be mixing with other trainers and stuff like that. So, you know, we just decided to, you know, move forward, but it's all love. It's no bad blood or nothing between us.
That's good to hear. So now you've got Reyes Barthélemy. Tell me why. Tell me why Reyes Barthélemy.
That's just who they, you know, that's who they asked, you know, would I fight? You know, I gave them the yes. I don't never really too much turn nobody down. So I gave them the green light on it. And then two, just, I ain't coming back just trying to take just an easy walkover. You know, I want to keep challenging myself. We know Rance is a two-time world champion. He a tough fighter. He on his way out, but you know, I feel like that record, I like his record as well. So I get that on my resume and it'd kind of bump me back up where I need to be. You know, so I just felt like he was a right opponent.
Is this one of those fights then, giving his resume, he is awkward, that you say, yo, I gotta end his career. You know, as you talk about, he's on his way out. I need to be the guy that not only puts an end to him, but ends his career so he didn't even think he's still got something left in the tank.
Yeah. I gotta go ahead and get him up out of there. You know what I'm saying? It's a young man sport. You know, I feel like right now, you know, it's over with. It's over with for him.
I like it.
Hey, I gotta put that stamp on it.
Well, the ghost putting the stamp in at 140. Tell me why 140.
I just feel like I'm gonna be comfortable at 140. As an amateur, I fought 41. You know, the goal was to go to 35, accomplish some stuff there. But, you know, after that last fight, me seeing how I was feeling and just me being there since I turned professional, I feel like I outgrowed the weight. You know, I got a lot of muscle. I don't even got to do much. I'm still just going to be, you know, solid. Like, I'm just naturally, you know, just muscular. So I'm just like, man, I'm going to just move up to 140 and I just be a lot more comfortable and not having to kill myself too much to make that weight. So I feel like 40, man, gonna be a great fit for me.
It's a great fit and it's a great division because you got some really good names. I mean, even big names. They're at 140. You're there now. How about Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, who obviously was on the show, you know, and broke the news here on the last end that those two were going to fight, that they're going to get it on in January. So you got those guys at 140. Keyshawn Davis, you got him there at 140. Richardson Hitchens, you got him there at 140. So I guess the question is, you are successful against Barthélemy. Who do you see in your future as opponents at 140 pounds?
I feel like it's the same as 35. Now it just got a little more hot. You know, we got some young guys coming up. We got the guys that was already at 35 that's moving up. So it's a lot of heat in the division. You know, I feel like every fight may revisit itself. Even the Shakur fight may revisit. You know, we got Keyshawn, we got Hitchens. You know, like all those names. You know, any of those guys. You know, those are all big fights. You know what I'm saying? They all big fights, and
And,
any of that can happen.
even at the top of this fight card with you in San Antonio, you've got Roach and Pitbull, and they're fighting at 140. Give me your thoughts on that fight, and could you see yourself fighting the winner?
Yeah, yeah. The winner out of those, so that'll be either one of them. You know, Roach going up. Roach. You know, he came from 130 to 35. Now he going to 40. I think he gonna fit the weight. He ain't like a small guy. But on that fight, it's a different fight. style-wise, compared to what he did when he fought Tank. Lamont, a great counterpuncher. The difference is with Tank and Cruz. Cruz throw fives and fours. A lot of times it's hard to counter every shot. So, hopefully him and his team got a good game plan, but I see it being a tough fight. His best performance that we've seen was against Tank. He came out on his A game. So let's see how he come back for this fight, for Cruz. They two different styles though. So
Yeah.
let's see how he adapts to this style.
Who do you lean towards in that fight?
Pitbull.
Really? Pitbull, huh?
Yeah. I feel like dude got more skills. I feel like he got more skill for sure. But I just think Pitbull may catch him.
Out of the two, which one do you prefer?
Either one of them.
Interesting. Interesting. You've had some back and forth recently with two fighters. Obviously, the champ, Richardson Hitchens, Keyshawn Davis. Which one of those guys, I would say, irks you more?
Probably Richardson Hitchens. Yeah, probably Hitchens. You know what I'm saying?
Tell me why.
He just talked too much. I just seen something with dude on he was talking about the Devin Haney and Brian Norman fight. Like he was just talking about that. He just act like he just that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's cool. You supposed to have that confidence and all that, you know what I'm saying, bro? But you gotta have more than a jab, dog. Like he got a great jab, but that's all he got. You know what I'm saying? He act like he out here putting pressure, like serious pressure on these fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like he cool. I feel like Keyshawn more of a, Keyshawn don't overdo it. Richardson, he overdoing it. He beat Cambosis, and you can't tell that man not a damn thing.
So let's start with the champ. Let's start with Richardson Hitchens. He was recently on a live, and someone asked obviously about you, and he responded, and here's his quote: "F Frank Martin, F him. He shouldn't be worried about calling me out. This MFer woke up from his nap. You better go back to finding something safe to play with." End quote. Give me your response to that.
He's something safe to play with. His non-punching ass. He's something safe to play with. He ain't knocking nothing out. You know what I'm saying? He ain't hurting nothing. He's something to play with.
Keyshawn Davis.
That's easy work. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's easy work. Richardson is easy work. Interesting.
Easy work. I'll stop him. Bust his ass. Easy work.
Keyshawn Davis. His quote, Tank, he's talking about you. Tank exposed him and showed us how soft he is, end quote. Your response to Keyshawn Davis.
We ain't really work like Keyshawn, you know what I'm saying? Keyshawn, he got something, you know what I'm saying? But he can't fight slick fighters, you know what I'm saying? They need to just keep putting him in front of them motherfuckers who come straight forward, who just punch, and he gonna do good against them bangers. The slick fighters, he can't fuck with slick fighters, so he better stay away from me. That's what Keyshawn better do.
Wow, I like it. Who do you believe right now best fighter at 140 pounds?
Like 140?
Mm-hmm. Obviously, Shakur's there. Teofimo's there. Who do you believe is the best fighter at 140 right now?
Well, Shakur ain't fought at 40 just yet.
Right.
Right now, I would say the best fighter at 140 is probably like Gary Russell. The toughest, one of the toughest. I would say like Gary Russell, T.O., Um, what's the guy who just the Matisse?
Yeah.
Matisse and Puelo. Those the guys at 140, right? Actual guys who at 140, not the ones who like us who moving up and haven't fought there yet. Those the guys I would say are the top,
I like it.
the better guys at 140.
Super Matias, you was basically talking about.
Yeah.
Got it. Obviously you're still working with Errol Spence. Is he still your promoter?
Yeah.
We spoke on the phone. He talked about that he's coming back. He said he's had some work with Breadman. He's worked with Roy Jones Jr. But wants to come back. He said at 154. One of the things he's talked about is Virgil Ortiz in Dallas. He believes would be a really big fight. Do you believe Errol Spence coming back at 154 that he can be just as successful as he was at 147?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like he may be, he may come back and be better. That weight, he might have outgrown his weight, from fighting from 147. He was at 47 his whole career. So he could have possibly, outgrown the weight. And like I say, we don't know when we outgrow a weight sometimes. We get that weight down, especially when you're a fighter who you gonna make the weight. You gonna get the weight down and you really figure out a lot when you end the fight. When you in the fire, that's when you kind of figure out how you feeling and stuff. But I think at 54, he'd be a lot stronger and more comfortable for sure.
Were you surprised? And now I think looking at what Terrence Crawford has done, people are like, yo, Terrence Crawford, without question, pound for pound, best fighter in the world. But were you as surprised of how dominant Terrence Crawford was against Errol?
Yeah. Yeah, I was. I think I just think that it was the left hand style. I think it was the left hand style, the preparation as far as the switch, not knowing what style he could come out possibly, or even just if he stayed on one style, I think it may have possibly been a southpaw thing though, but I think too, like, it's a lot of things that go on with fighters. They be like bigger than, it be like a lot of things happening outside of, just the fight. We be having certain stuff going on with us, all kind of stuff. So I feel like with that, man, there was a lot in the mix that, that was going on as well.
Obviously, because you're right there in camp with him, and you saw. It's ironic that you guys both have huge fights, and you look at it. Both of you guys end up leaving Derrick James, and it was like after these huge fights, they're gone now, so is that part of it where it was like, yo, I just think maybe we've gone our course. We need a new style.
No, so my thing, I didn't leave Derrick. I wasn't the one who was just like, I'm gonna leave Derrick. It was mutual. Like Derrick texted me, and then he was just like, he happy that I'm searching for different things and this and that, and he feel like it's best we just part ways or whatever. So we kind of ended it like that, but it wasn't like just me, like, oh, I'm gonna leave you because I'm looking for this, because I lost a fight or anything like that. I just wanted to add to what we was already working, but we just end up just splitting.
And what do you see as the future for Errol Spence Jr.? One of the things he talked to me on the phone was that he said he cut his diet. He said he's kept his weight down so that he knows that once he's getting ready to fight, he's going to be ready. What do you think about the future for Errol Spence Jr.?
Man, he been looking good. He been keeping his weight down, like you say. The weight down. He been looking small. And he's just training, He private. He gonna be real quiet, but he gonna be working in silence. So I'm excited to see him come back, see, how he come back too. I know he gonna come back and prove a lot of people wrong.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ghost, but so many people now talk at 154. People are talking about Virgil Ortiz and how much punching power he's got. Boots saying how they believe that Boots is going to be the dominant fighter at 154. People after that Crawford loss, people looked and said, "Well, you know what? Maybe all of those fights, the acts and all that stuff finally caught up to him, and he's just not the guy that he once was." You believe he can still be as productive there at 154?
Yeah. That's what come with it, man. It's one of them sports. It's crazy that you take one loss or something, or you don't perform in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? You not that guy, or they just shit on you. You know what I'm saying? That's the worst. But even like Brian Norman, going into that fight, everybody was hyping him up. After the fight, now he a bum, because he ain't perform how people expected him to perform. But that was just a fight of just experience. It was an experience type of thing, and he just wasn't ready for that at that moment, at that time. That don't make him a bum. It was just he just lost. He just lost to a guy who was more groomed than him.
So if you had your druthers and you are successful against Barthélemy and they come to you and they say, "Ghost, you pick your opponent, we gonna make it happen," who would you want after Barthélemy next?
Richardson Hitchens. Yeah, give me Hitchens.
You want the champ.
Yeah.
The one who said you've been taking those what do you say, those more comfortable and soft touches.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna make him wake up.
I like it. So when people tune in to Prime and they watch your return, what kind of fighter now are they going to see out of the Ghost, Frank Martin?
They're gonna see a balance. They're gonna see me. They're gonna see they're gonna see something they ain't seen before. You know what I'm saying? In a fight. They're gonna see how actually skilled I am. How good my feet is, how fast my hands is. They're gonna get to see like a whole different side of me that I haven't really got to show in a lot of my fights, like that people have seen on TV and stuff. They're gonna get to see a lot of different stuff that I've been working on and that I've been had. I just didn't, it's different, certain styles, you fight certain styles, but I got a treat for everybody, so be tuned in to see something different, a whole different version of me. Be tuned.
You see yourself a champion at 140 pounds?
Absolutely. Hopefully I can get me a strap in June or July, so if we can make something happen with Hitchens in like June or July, I'd be with it. Even if it's not him, I'm not chasing nobody. I do want to be champion in 2020, 2026, whenever, if it's June, July. That's the goal, though, to give me a belt in 2026.
And I know people will ask, at one point we saw the negotiations. Do you see Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson getting it on?
That could possibly happen for sure. Yeah, I feel like everything gonna revisit itself. It's fights, people could want to see me fight Keyshawn. There's gonna be people who want to double back on the Shakur fight. Now it's a lot of fights that can still happen between me and other fighters, like the Keyshawn fight, the Shakur fight, now the Richardson Hitchens. So those three fights that can for sure happen, in 2026.
I like it. Absolutely. We'll wrap it up with this. You talked about being very active. In your mind, the end of 2026, Frank Martin fights how many times, and will Frank Martin be a champion by the end of 2026?
2026, we for sure gonna have a strap on our waist. For sure. 100%, I'm gonna have a belt. If a title fight is presented to me, no matter who the champion is, a title fight presented to me, I'm going to get the strap. And then in 26, if I can fight at least 3, I wanna get at least 3 fights.
Wow.
At least 3 fights, I want to be active, man. That's I want to fight.
Yeah. And the message to fight fans who've been missing the Ghost and Rancis Bartholomew when they tune in December 6th? What's the message?
Man, look, I'm back. December 26th, y'all make sure y'all tune in. I'm ready to show y'all the stuff.
December 6th. Wait. December 6th. December 6th. So you said 26.
Oh, December 26th. or December 6th. My bad. I'm tripping. Y'all make sure y'all tune in, man. I'm gonna show y'all a different, style-wise fighting style y'all ain't seen. I'm gonna show y'all that. And hopefully y'all see me more in 2026.
Yeah, that's great stuff, man. Man, it's always good. It's always good to see you. I can't wait to see you in San Antonio and see you perform and see what you bring now to the 140-pound division, which is turning into one of the best divisions in boxing.
Yeah, it's gonna be popping by the middle of the year. Everybody, it's gonna be a mix up. They might as well go and set up a bracket. It's gonna be hot.
I like it. Absolutely. Listen, that's what we do here on The Last Stand. We bring you some of the biggest names in the sport, like the Ghost, Frank Martin. Ghost, appreciate you. Folks,
Appreciate
thanks
that.
for watching. Absolutely. We'll see you again next week.
All right now.